Hi, welcome to 30 Frames a Second, and my name is Greg Lassiter, and we have a great show for you, the first show of 2019. We'll be right back.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, Mr. Secretary General, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great sadness that we begin this 73rd session of our Assembly by acknowledging a great loss, that of Kofi Annan, who will surely be remembered as one of the outstanding leaders of this organization. But it is also eminently fitting that we remember him on this day, a day fixed by the Assembly 70 years ago on his watch and with his strong support as International Peace Day. For no one labored more tirelessly or consistently in the cause of peace than did Kofi Annan. Kofi Annan was a great Secretary General because he understood that peace cannot be achieved in isolation. He subscribed fully to the principles set out in the preamble to our Charter and knew that they are mutually interdependent. Succeeding generations will not be saved from the scourge of war unless and until human beings can have faith in fundamental human rights, in the dignity and worth of the human person, in the equal rights of men and women and of nations, large and small.
What's his name? What's his name? What's his name?
Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member Feinstein, members of the committee, thank you for allowing me to make my statement.
Nobody cares. I'm white and I'm hot. I'm white and I'm hot.
The reason why they imprisoned him is because he started doing positive for the community. He started showing that he actually had power, that he wasn't just one of a monolithic voice, but he could wrap people around. So there's theories that there's infinite amounts of universe and there's alternate universe. So it's very important for me to get Hoover out because in an alternate universe, I am him.
Please, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. What? Excuse me, are you in? Sir. Please open the window a little bit. Officer. 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 What?
You think this might have to do with you running from the
Please open the window, please.
I'm not opening the window.
Please. Officer, please. Please, I'm begging you, man. Officer, please.
We will fight to abolish ICE, keep families together, protect refugees, protect women's right to choose, and fight against climate change.
I thought the bitch was white! God damn it! I thought the bitch was white!
Happy New Year 2019. I'm Greg Lassiter, the host and I actually co-host to 30 Frames a Second. And here we got the man, the myth, the legend, Nat Wood. Welcome back.
What's up, brother?
How you
no,
doing, man?
you're the host. I'm sitting there with you, brother. I'm sitting there with you.
It's all about you. What a 2018, Nat.
Oh, yes. Yes.
It was epic.
Yes.
That
was just a small portion of 2018. I couldn't even really. It would take the whole hour just to get through 2018 so many things.
But
happened.
I have to commend you on the soundtrack, though. The soundtrack was
we
anything you hear here is original.
Right. This is 30 frames a second.
Well, we're going to start off by welcoming the 116th Congress.
Right.
All Democrats.
Right.
48 women.
Right.
You know. Now, here's the deal. It should shake up America.
America is screwed up. America is in a pickle.
To say the least. 800,000 federal employees are out of a job or furloughed.
Correct.
With no paycheck.
Correct.
Now, those people that are furloughed can't pay their mortgages, can't eat, or whatnot. But the essential people, air traffic controllers, which is essential to me, very essential to me, IRS.
Yeah.
TSA.
Oh, I'm not talking here.
I have TSA.
I'm trying to adjust my chair, but whoa! I just
TSA.
sunk down.
These are the people that are working on with no salary.
Good.
There you go. You got it?
Oh no!
You got it. Just there you go. There you go. You got it.
No.
I did that on purpose so you could be lower.
We're doing live TV on a chair that was made for editing.
But these are the essential employees are now not getting any money.
Right.
They got some people working double shifts.
Right.
And all because of a wall.
No, it's not just the wall. Essentially, Trump is taking an issue unrelated to what they're trying to do and literally blackmailing America with it. He's almost made it impossible to agree with him because he said, if you don't give me what I want.
Like a spoiled brat.
Right. And Trump is from New York.
Right.
You ain't gonna tough talk no money out of nobody.
No New Yorker at all.
Right. Especially other people's money.
Right.
You're gonna blackmail the Democrats by starving out your constituents.
But the thing of it is that the constituents don't know this because the constituents are from the lower class. The poor people, the poor white trash people.
They're government workers.
But not all of them have jobs. Most of his constituents are from.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that all Trump supporters are poor white trash.
No, I would say the vast majority.
I would say all poor white trash are Trump supporters.
Right, there you go. There you go. But the sad part is that they, seemingly enough, don't think they're affected by the government shutdown.
They influence too much of the agenda. As a matter of fact, the problem is not with them because they're intractable.
Right.
They are loyal.
Right.
They're sort of the way black men feel about other black men. Black men don't feel this way about black women. They talk about like baby mama and stuff like that.
Right.
But black men actually don't love black women. But they do love other black men.
Right.
Now I don't mean like in a gay way.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
You know,
right. We have
ride or die for my homie.
Right.
There's no ride or die for my wife. There's no ride or die for my mother. It's ride or die for my homie. I would die for my homie.
And that's because black men feel other black men's pain and what we go through.
That's some old slave mind stuff. I don't even want to give I don't want to make excuses for them. They got to snap out of this.
No, I agree.
This is bad.
I agree.
This is bad.
But
this
see,
is bad.
his white constituents, the poor white constituents will feel it because it's coming up to that point where they're not going to get their food stamps.
But they not used to anything anyway. So you can't take nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You can't threaten somebody with nothing, with more nothing.
Wait,
they don't know. They actually don't know.
They get $100 a month for food stamps. They will feel the pain.
But that's not their pain. Their pain is thinking of your snotty behind going out drinking that Dom Perignon stuff. If I got to take one on the chin to make some of y'all unhappy.
Now, I'm okay with that. Right. Let me right here.
Right.
Get your best shot.
Stop me. Stop me. I ain't got no benefits anyway. I ain't going to the doctor.
I'm healthy.
That's right. That's right. It's straight from the meth lab to my sister's house.
That's good. But 800,000 workers, we're on day 17. How do you think this is going to play out?
I don't know. Trump is not a rational individual. Trump is, you can't, it's impossible to apply logic to an irrational individual. And he's a spoiled, shallow individual who actually thinks that he believes his own stuff. I'm more disappointed in people like that Sanders woman. And his vice president,
Huckabee Sanders. Huckabee Sanders and Pence.
And Pence. They will get up there and just like lie. I mean,
straight lie.
Right. And they know they're lying. At least Trump believes his lie. He's too stupid to know he's lying.
But you know what? That in fact is true. He believes his own hype.
Right.
And says stuff just to be saying it.
Right.
But people...
The first word you thought was boom, boom.
Boom, boom, right.
But his own crap.
But Sanders, Pence, they know he's lying. And how can you have a job that you know somebody's lying and you go to the public and say it? How can you feel good about yourself?
And go on TV and try to convince people who do nothing but this all day long, crunch the numbers,
fact find,
all day long. This is their only gig.
But doesn't that say something? Like, how can you have some kind of? Because if you go and tell the public a lie and you know it's a lie, and they call you on a lie, you have a credibility problem.
He lies, Trump lies. See, Trump is a different animal. Trump will tell 6 or 7 lies, all contradicting themselves, all in the same sentence. So
and believe it.
And believe every one of those duplicitous incantations. I mean, when it comes out of his mouth, it makes perfect sense in his brain.
Right. That's scary.
Right. But then you have a whole lot of other people. I got a picture of John Kelly. I forgot to get that picture.
I know what you're talking about. Where it was just like,
he couldn't believe.
Right, he's like, here we go again. Here we go again.
Charlie Brown, you blockhead.
But there is, when you're people like Pence, when you're people like Huckabee, especially Huckabee Sanders, there's a life after this, supposedly. Now, if you go before the public,
I don't know.
Because you're done. You have to. If you take on a.
I don't think Sanders is looking for life. Sanders going the Omarosa route.
You never heard from her.
Over,
it's done.
After all of this is over, she gonna write a book or join Fox News or something like that.
Right.
She'll never be in politics.
I don't think she'll be in a job. Period.
If there's still a Fox News,
they think they have her? Because Fox News have called Donald Trump out on his lies as well, though.
If the lie is inconvenient to the spin that they are trying to portray. But if the lie is convenient to what they're trying to, because they all trying to manipulate the same audience.
Right.
And sometimes Trump forgets that his lies are supposed to have a purpose.
Right, right.
And he's so used to lying that he loses track of the purpose of the lie.
That's true.
And the lie is to keep this clientele that
off balance though.
Right, right.
But here's the thing though. There's a difference in spinning something than just straight out lying.
Right.
There's a big difference.
Right.
You know, I could take a person's background and spin it.
Right.
But if you tell me a straight lie, you can't spin a lie because it doesn't make sense.
I forget who it was. A reporter tweeted something, and he called Trump supporters. He called them 10-tooth rubes. and they got all up in arms and they got real mad, you know. And he was like, they got mad at the dental thing, I said, but they didn't get mad that I called them rubes, you know. And a rube is like a sucker in the circus, right? You know, all we got is morons. You didn't get mad that I called you a patsy, you know.
You got mad because you talked about my tooth.
Right.
My one tooth.
Right. And if you had two of them, you wouldn't be mad. So apparently, whatever I said hit home.
But what gets me is that how they're being affected by this.
Yeah.
It's coming down to the fact that most of these constituents that are the rubes.
Right.
They have no jobs. They're unemployed, and they're struggling, and their food is subsidized by the federal government.
But they never had jobs. And most of the places that they live in are places with economies run by economies that are either non-existent, or based upon something that is destined to become a dinosaur.
Right.
So they're all in the pickle anyway.
Or
a dinosaur already.
Right.
I mean, West Virginia has no reason to exist.
But Nat, can you explain this though? Explain this. How can you say, I don't want government in my business, and not believe in government, but yet accept welfare from the government?
And be a complete welfare state.
Yeah. How is that possible? What is the rationale behind that? Help me understand. Well, give me some understanding.
You keep looking for logic in a world of madness. There is no logic except the logic of madness, and this is all they know. So this is their whole world. There was a woman. I think it was like a couple of years ago. In a town in someplace in West Virginia.
Right.
She referred to Michelle Obama as an ape in heels.
Right, exactly. I remember that.
This is the irony. In the whole town, not to mention that she's not the most attractive white woman.
Of course not.
You know. But the town itself is an amazing statement of how confused people are.
Right.
The town is in West Virginia.
Wow. I know where you're going with this. Go ahead. Come on.
How can you, first of all, why are you mad at Michelle Obama? You ain't even got no black people to be mad at.
Right. You don't know her.
There's nobody to breed with but relatives.
Right.
I didn't do this. I didn't do this. You all vote Republican. It's a starving to death town in a starving to death state. The whole state of West Virginia is built on coal and methamphetamine.
Right. But you don't got to have money to buy methamphetamine. So you're getting subsidized by the federal government. But yet you don't believe in government.
How can you? If you've been shoveling coal and sniffing methamphetamine, and plus you slightly inbred when you come out, how can you be logical?
But
how can you accept the fact? First of all, the only thing that you've been taught, because while everyone else while everyone else is boning up on technology,
right?
You are still listening to the same 16th century, 17th century white supremacist rhetoric that your great-great-grandpappy listened to.
Right.
You know.
And it's gotten you nowhere, though. When do you wake up?
All you know.
Okay, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. But at some point, don't you feel that, okay, damn, I've been beating my head against this wall.
What is the one thing that the insane does not know?
That they're crazy.
That they're crazy.
But Nat, you need to help me with this. Okay, I mean, they may not know they're crazy, but I keep bumping my head and I'm not getting anywhere.
Because you're trying to get crazy people to understand they're crazy. You're crazy.
I guess, okay. But I want to say this, moving on. 1.3 million voters in Florida, felons, are able to vote now.
Right.
So that's a good thing.
Right.
That's a good thing.
And I know 291 people in West Virginia are pissed.
Totally.
But yes. There are a bunch of things that happen that will be interesting. That is certainly one of them. Tonight, Trump will address the nation, which will be interesting.
I can't watch it now. You can watch it for us and then report back. I cannot watch this man anymore.
I watch basic cable during the day and premium cable during the night. I don't even tune in. You know, I mean, he's gonna bump Blackish, you know.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, see,
as long as he doesn't bump Ray Donovan, I don't care.
But see, here's the thing that I've gone to this. I watch the BBC News, and I just found out about IGTV. I got my own TV station.
I stopped watching. Yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing. I found out I was cruising through the station and found out
WGN.
That Tribune is having some sort of protest, trying to get more money.
Spectrum is trying to get more money from WGN, Tribune.
No,
they
Tribune wants more money from Spectrum. That's
I thought it was the other way around.
No. Tribune wants more money.
But WGN, they have reruns of MASH.
That's the whole thing. IGN. WGN.
Right, WGN.
Right.
And there's another one, WGN, and there's another channel too.
There's Channel 11 in New York, whatever it is.
UPN.
The WB or whatever it is.
Yeah, the WB, Channel 11.
Channel 11 in New York. It's a very interesting time. You have a very interesting president.
It's not my president.
And I don't even want to talk about WGN.
Right.
WGN had an opportunity to become something, but then as soon as Tribune took it over, it got rid of. It only had 2 hit shows in its own history, in its whole history. One of them was a black show.
I know what you're talking about. I can't
Underground.
remember. Underground, yes, right. And they got rid of that quick.
And they got rid of Underground as soon as they came in. And Oprah wouldn't pick it up because she had like Run DMC cooking or some stuff. So nobody even knows where WGN is anymore. They
I don't think they're done.
They are. They're done. I mean, you know. They locked me out of watching MASH, you know.
And reruns of Blackish.
Yeah.
Right. But, okay, I said I wasn't going to talk about this, but this is the elephant in the room that we got to mention, and that's Robert Kelly, R. Kelly.
R. Kelly.
Yeah, that is. And you know what? I've been looking at social media, and I have to say this to the black people. This is not about bringing down a black man. This is not about anything but.
I think the black man brought himself.
He bought
down.
him. He's not even a black. I don't consider him a black man.
Right. He's never made a record where he's referred to himself as a black man. He refers to himself as a nigger. So the best you can accuse me of is not being overly concerned with what happens to a nigger.
Right. That's exactly true. That's exactly right.
Because that's how he's identified himself
and carried himself. He reads on a 5th grade level.
That's only because the 4th grade teacher had to get him out the damn class. He was 23 years old. All the other students 10, 11 years old. And she said, just pass him and get him, at least get him to junior high.
It's not funny. It's not funny, but it is funny.
Hey, listen.
It's tragic.
It's first of all, the tragedy is that while millions and millions of people are talking about R. Kelly, black people are talking about R. Kelly.
Right.
In Texas, a 7-year-old girl was murdered in her car with her mother
and other
sister. They still have not apprehended the person who is reported to be a white man with blue eyes.
But it's
not. It's hard for me to tell from that sketch what he is.
But they captured 2 black men. I don't know if you heard. They captured 2 black men who was mistaken identity.
Of course it was mistaken identity.
No, the mistaken identity, the mistake identity that they got the wrong car that they were shooting in. Because the 2 African Americans.
Oh, it was another 7-year-old girl.
No, it's the same 7-year-old girl. That they just.
No, I'm saying.
The one in Texas, they said it was a white man.
Right.
But in fact, it was 2 African American teenagers, young men.
That was in that car that was on the video.
Yes, that was in that car.
Okay. On the video.
Right, that was on the video. The red truck.
But who shot the girl?
One of the black men. It was a mistaken identity. They thought they were shooting at the wrong car.
They just shot at a car.
Yeah, they thought it was somebody else. They thought they were after some guy in a white car, and it was, unfortunately, the 7-year-old that got killed. And they found the gun.
So you just shoot at a car?
It's Houston, bro. I'm sorry, nothing against Houston, but it was Houston. Houston has a very high crime rate among people of color, just like Chicago.
Okay.
I meant to tell you that. Okay, that little. Okay. But we're so concentrated on R. Kelly.
Yeah, Houston. And some of the arguments about R. Kelly. But this goes back to my original statement, about niggas.
He said that.
That's what they call themselves.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I've been writing songs since before I went to school.
Right.
There's no niggas in my love songs.
No, none of mine either. Not one. I didn't hear that. We didn't hear that until the 21st century.
With.
Right.
Figure.
Right.
Bigger.
But you know what? We did.
Trigger.
We came up. We write songs because we both play instruments, but we never. That never came into consciousness.
It's just not something that I think of in a lyrical context.
Right.
Now there are certain films, because I'm a videographer, I'm a filmmaker.
Sure.
There are certain films that the word will come up because it's in context with the characters that you portray.
But those were 70s. Those were 70s movies, which we call black exploitation. Back then, when we were consciously.
But I mean, if you make a movie about slavery,
right? Of course,
or if you make a movie about something in Jim Crow,
right?
Or
That's
even
exactly
if you
right.
make a movie about one of the 10,000 drug movies that we make.
And I just made a statement on social media.
At least it's in context,
right?
But. Just like the word, because the word is profitable.
Yeah, but where we get, I think we fall short as black people. We use that word because it is profitable, and the white man likes to hear that we call ourselves that.
But they won't let you say anything about
Jews.
about anybody but yourself.
Right. What's his name?
They just jumped on the congresswoman because she called Trump Trump an MF.
Right.
But Trump called black football players
Sons of
SOBs.
bitches. Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
Who would know an SOB better than an MF?
Right. That's in fact true. Right. Right. That's in fact true.
I mean, let's do the math, boys and girls.
Right. But we need to stop allowing that. Like people, let me get off this. I want to say one more thing about R. Kelly. People, the man called himself the Pied Piper. If you know the story behind the Pied Piper in Hamlin, the Pied Piper was this creature who had a flute that lured all the little kids out of the village to never be heard from again. That's the story of the Pied Piper, guys.
And I'm getting kind of sick of finding ways to live down to the white man's lowest value system.
Right. That's crazy.
We have our own set of issues.
Right.
And we have our own road, our own path to travel.
Right.
And if all we want to do is be accepted as equal bastard to the white man, then we have missed the boat entirely.
Totally.
So the question is not whether or not Harvey Weinstein is in jail.
Right.
I agree with you.
Right.
Harvey Weinstein should have his ass in jail.
Right. Absolutely.
But that does not give you reason to pee on little black girls.
Right.
You know.
Right. Or drug another woman.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And black women should show a little more empathy toward other black women and girls.
Right, exactly. Because think about this now. I'm going to say this, and I know this has been, R. Kelly wouldn't have gotten away with this if it was young white girls. The community wouldn't have it.
Nobody would have gotten away with this.
Right, if it was young white girls.
Right.
But if we don't care about our own.
Justin Timberlake wouldn't have gotten away with this if it was young white girls.
But that goes to show you we need to take care of our community.
And older white girls, older white women would not be defending Justin Timberlake if he had done this.
That's exactly right.
And the issue wouldn't be about whether or not we portray black men as pedophiles.
Right. That's right.
We don't portray black men as pedophiles. No. We portray pedophiles as pedophiles.
Whether you're black or white.
Right. And I know a few more people who should be in the cell with R. Kelly, Bill Cosby.
Give me your list.
Throw African Bambaata's ass in there with him.
That's right. He's from uptown. Yeah.
Right. That's no good bastard.
Yep.
There's a whole lot of no good bastards.
That's right.
This is the 21st century. Right. This is not the 18th century.
Right.
You just can't beat the hell out of a 12-year-old girl, take her home, have her way with it, and the court say that's fine.
Right. No,
you can't do that no more.
It's not going to happen.
You can't sell your girl into slavery because it's a girl.
Right.
You can't do that anymore.
Right.
I'm sorry that there's no covered wagons on the road.
Sorry, no, it's not happening.
But that's just a normal part of life.
Right.
We as a people have to move on.
Right.
We have to get past our fascination with shoe size. The whole world. The world doesn't say the black man don't have big feet.
No, right.
The world says the black man is stupid.
That's
the
exactly
world
right.
says the black man is disloyal to other black people.
Right. That's right.
When the Asians at Stuyvesant High came against blacks getting into Stuyvesant High, it wasn't because it was Asians against blacks who had similar test scores, equal or better test scores. It was because you wanted to rig the deck as opposed to demanding excellence.
That's right. That's exactly right. Well said. Now, that was well said.
I'm done with that.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
done
exactly
with
right.
excuses.
Right.
I'm done with Negroes that make excuses.
Yep. We got to stop excuses. I posted that on social media. We have to stop with the excuses, admit our mistakes, learn from them, and move on.
The reason why I do everything myself is because there are a few people with the hustle and the talent to be able to do it.
Right. That's exactly right.
Who am I going to get other than first of all, the average news organization,
right?
It would take like 10 or 12 professionals
to do what we do.
To do all the research,
the
editing, the shooting,
the composition of music.
The composition of music.
Because it's not. No, I want to make that a big deal because the composition of music, all they do is buy music already done.
Correct.
You compose every aspect of it.
So you're talking about a staff of people, and we do this in the studio, out the studio, in the field, in the worst instances, in places like Haiti, in places like Venezuela. There's no place we don't go. There's no footage we don't bring back. We do all of this in-house, all the research in-house. You need a whole bunch of people paying them a bunch of money for the money.
Right.
You know,
there's four of us.
That's right.
There's four of us
that
do. People think, guys, if everybody could sit down and do this, if this was so easy, everybody would do it.
That's right.
There's nothing, just because you guys see us sit down one day out of an hour, a day to do this.
There's no excuses.
No,
you can't bring me a product. I'm not going to present a product to an audience that I value and appreciate. I'm not going to bring them an inferior product. This has nothing to do with whether or not, this has all to do with the pride I take and the appreciation I have for those people who's
getting watched. Not only that, we go, it's the best or it's nothing. There's no halfway.
Or it's nothing.
It's nothing. Because you know what? We have a responsibility to the community.
And this is not Netflix.
No.
This is not Amazon. This is not this is not a case, or this is not YouTube. This is not where you know what it is you're looking for and go directly to that thing, or cruise through, or go to that thing. No. This is television.
Live television. This is live.
It's live cable television.
Which you don't see.
But it also means that there are 25, every time we come on, there is like 2,000 to 2,500 other channels, other programs
at the same time.
People have the option of watching. A lot of those channels, we're talking about like 50 premium channels that you got to pay big money for.
At least 50.
We're talking about 50 high-end basic channels that are multi-billion-dollar corporations like TNT. These are all multi-billion-dollar corporations. I can't bring an inferior product to the people who are gracious enough to check us out, which means that my data has to be correct, my presentation has to be correct.
Not only that, out of all those channels at this hour, none of them, and I say this because I know the data, none of them are live.
None of them are live.
We're live.
None of them are live.
Guys, I don't know. We are live. We just don't have a call-in anymore. We are live. We are live. And the reason that we don't have a call-in because it takes up too much time. But this is a live show that's happening.
And we changed the not just it takes up too much time, which it does. But we changed the format. We also are active in the production of a show that does take call-ins.
Absolutely.
You know? So it's you don't want to recreate the wheel. They don't have the videographers and editors that we have. They don't travel as much as we travel. They don't do the kind of things that we do.
But see, the thing of it is,
the things that we do are unique.
The big corporations, they shoot it and then pass it off to somebody else.
That is correct. People don't realize just the editing procedure.
Oh my God! Editing to me is I can't. That's why this guy's perfection.
But no
I
one
cannot edit.
person,
I hate edit. I hate
no
editing.
no one person, except in the most rinky-dink like antenna cozy channels.
Right, right.
They have and like New York One or something.
Right,
They'll have like one person doing a whole bunch of stuff.
But here's the thing though. Nat has to do this when we shoot, or even doing the research.
Yeah.
When we shoot and do the research, Nat has a vision.
Yeah.
Now, it's nothing like editing your own vision. When you give your product to somebody else to edit, you have to parlay to them your vision. It's not the same. The contrast is not this.
And the editor passes it on to 3 or 4 different people.
Right.
You pass it on to the person who handles the color grading.
Right.
And then they pass it on to the person who is responsible for the audio. Make sure the audio levels are correct.
Right.
All of these people make a buttload full of money.
At least 100.
Right.
$100.
The dude holding the mic
gaff,
with the stick.
the gaffer, yeah,
right,
the gaffer.
with the stick, the boom guy makes a buttload full of money.
And he's union.
Right, and he's union.
Right. And look, there's floor managers.
That's right.
There's floor managers.
That's right.
There's directors. We
Right.
do everything.
Right.
Usually we got 1, 2, we got 4 cameras.
Right.
And there should be a cameraman on every channel, on every camera, plus a floor manager.
And we got robot cameras.
Right, we got 2 robots.
If you look at the programs that just play on MNN that are produced by MNN, when they go through the credits, they got a whole bunch load of people to produce a half-hour talk show.
28 minutes, 29 minutes, right.
That's all. That's all teleprompter.
The credits are longer than the show.
Right.
Pretty much.
The people talking into the teleprompter.
Yep. But we don't talk into teleprompters. We don't even have an IFB.
That is correct.
An IFB is like you hear on national TV. I used to have. Nat got me on IFB. I used to have a show, To the Point, where I used to have IFB. An IFB is Nat was the director talking to me when I'm in there. We don't use that. We got a teleprompter that we don't use. But
there are because we only got like 15 minutes.
Okay.
There are a bunch of things that are happening in 2019.
That's right.
Some of them are holdovers from 2018.
Right.
Obviously, the budget is problematic, and all of the things that revolve around the budget, like the southern border.
The southern. But see, and this is another thing. The southern border. He's so fixated about Mexicans and the Spanish
he's
people.
Lying, though.
But that's not
he's
even.
So stupid.
He's worried about terrorism. In the database in the southern border, there were 2 terrorists that were on the list of 2018.
Yeah, there is no record. There's no record. They only take statistics for the first half of 2018. But there's no record that anybody was actually arrested as a terrorist.
As a terrorist, right.
And then Pence gets on TV and he uses a phrase that has nothing to do with Mexicans in Central America. Right. He uses a phrase, he refers to special interest aliens.
Right. What is that? What is special interest aliens?
A special interest alien is not someone from Honduras or Guatemala.
Or Mexico.
Special interest aliens are basically people who come from countries like Iran,
right.
Iraq, Syria,
right.
Afghanistan.
Right.
Now, all of those countries have something in common.
The Taliban and the terrorists. Pretty much.
We shove bombs down and throw them nonstop.
Right. With drones. We drone them to death.
Right. We're in conflict with them.
Right.
And they are war zones.
Right.
And
right.
they are war zones that are heavily sanctioned, most of them.
That's
Iran is heavily sanctioned.
Syria.
Iraq.
Right.
Syria is a nonstop war zone.
Right.
Okay. So these people are not coming across the southern border.
Nope.
Most of these people are not even coming across the northern border.
Nope.
They're coming at the points of entry
legally
and coming in.
That's right. That's exactly right.
This has nothing to do with the southern border.
Right.
There is no indication that any significant number any number at all that's been arrested of terrorists that are coming from any of the places that are going through Mexico. Those people who are coming from Guatemala, Honduras, not even so much Venezuela, but a little bit Venezuela.
Any of those countries south of Brazil.
Central America, right.
But see, that's the thing. He wants you to believe that, and that's not true. We don't even talk about the people that come from countries like England and Australia and New Zealand and Russia who come legally and stay
as long as they want to.
Right.
As long as they want to. You don't even know. You don't know whether they should be here or not.
Right. Exactly. We don't talk about. What about the Russian women who get pregnant in Russia, move to Florida, have their baby, and their baby's American and go back to Russia?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Because I live in the East Village of New York. Most of the people in the East Village of New York are white people. That have funny accents and are not allowed to vote.
Right. There you go.
You know.
There you go.
The last time we had a line to the vote, we've had a couple of lines to the voting booth, but it was mostly Puerto Ricans.
Right.
And that was either to vote for Obama or against Trump.
Right. That's exactly right.
You know.
And you're right.
If it's anybody, right. But there's no line of white folks with a personal opinion because they don't need a personal opinion. They got money and they white.
Right.
They got a whole lot of money. And they white.
Right.
So this idea that people from Central America are somehow coming in mass across Mexico. It's a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of crap.
It's a scare tactic.
Kids. And kids are dying in their custody.
These people are coming here to get a better life. That's what they're doing. They just want a better life than they had. Because remember, look at the Statue of Liberty. Bring me a weary. Bring me a. Come on, man.
You know what the problem with the people coming in? The problem is that they are a cash cow for places like Fox News.
That's right. That's exactly right now. That's exactly right.
They can soup up their ratings. They can get political power. They can all become multimillionaires.
That's exactly right.
All with this non-existent scare
tactic, right?
And you can't give up the thing that drives your ratings.
Right. That's
so
right. That's right.
The only thing that these people is a cash cow for white supremacist media.
There you go. We got 10 minutes. Okay, I want to say this, guys. I'll get not the last word because what I got to say. I got to say this. It's taken me 12 years to do something no one else has done, okay? I wrote the first soul R&B opera, all right? That is a big deal. And it's called To Be Loved, all right? Nat's going to be the first one to read it because I need his input on it. I just finished this. It's taken me 10, 11 years to write this. I got the money for it, so it's going to be performed sometime in 2019 in the summertime. Greg's Research Society is a society for multiple sclerosis. I'm having a benefit, 500 people, sit-down dinner at the Ziegfeld Ballroom, February 22nd. Get at us. Nat will be there. He might even perform. I got a special guest. I want to thank everybody for watching us. Guys, I love the interaction that you give us.
And Greg's Research is nonprofit.
Nonprofit, yes it is. Right. Thank you, Nat. It's a nonprofit organization. Go check us out. Some of you guys may get an invite. I don't know. But I want to thank everybody for watching us because I can say this, without Nat Wood and his expertise and his professionalism, there'd be none of this for me, be none of this for our crew. Nat, I thank you. Nat's an awesome. I learned something from Nat. He's a little strange, but I love him.
I ain't got no money. I'm gonna tell you.
And that has a lot of money. That has a lot of money. Don't let his smooth taste fool you. That look at that watch he has on. That is a $13,000 watch. He has on. Yes, it is.
$13 watch.
It's a $13,000. My watch, I got a cheap watch on. He got a $13,000 watch on. But anyway, now go ahead. We still got like 8 minutes. Go ahead and finish it.
Yeah, them mules that his old lady be walking cost more than my walk around here cost more than my rent.
$13,000 watch. He doesn't even have rent. He owns his place.
There are a lot of things coming down the pike in 2019. There are housing issues. There are education issues. There's going to be a massive shakeup in government employment. The whole structure of employment is changing.
Right.
The past references that people have in regards to getting a job are no longer germane in the modern world.
That's right.
Not only are you going to have to make sure that your children are educated and focused on the future, but they're going to have to get back to the days where your parents and grandparents told you that you're going to have to be twice as good as a white man.
Absolutely.
Because you are going to have to be twice as good as a white man to get half as much as a white man gets.
Right. Not to mention Asians. Other cultures.
You have other cultures, and not only do you have other cultures, at least in the old days, you had other cultures that you competed with here in America.
Right, that's right.
That is not the case anymore.
Nope.
Every country is a corporation unto itself.
That's exactly right.
And there are a lot of things under the pike. When they talk about trade wars,
right.
The trade war with China. The economy is going to be shaken by your president's actions.
That's
I
right.
mean, shaken to its foundation.
Everything is made in China. Look at the iPhone.
Not only is things made in China, but the latest technologies have all been designed in China.
That's right.
So when you talk about the blockchain technology,
right.
straight out of China.
Right. That's right.
When you talk about 5G,
Right.
straight out of China.
Totally.
The whole system of sharing information from telephone to telephone, from computer to computer, is about to take a massive upgrade.
That's exactly
All
right.
of that technology is in and coming out of China.
Not only that, a vast majority of the government buildings in Washington, D.C. are owned by the Chinese.
That is correct. That is correct.
So if the Chinese decide to call our card,
that is correct.
we would go bankrupt as a country.
Many of the manufacturing facilities are done in countries other than America.
Right.
Amazon has surpassed Google. Google has lost 25% of their net worth since becoming $1 trillion company.
That's
It's
right.
now fourth on the list with under $750 billion dollars.
Right.
So it's lost about a quarter of their revenue.
Right.
Right now, Amazon is the #1 company in the world.
That's right. You can go. You don't even have to leave your house. Nat is an Amazon king.
Right.
You can get, I'm the same way. We can get anything on Amazon.
Right. Y'all can't dog me on Amazon.
Yeah, right.
You can't
discriminate.
Right. Make me uncomfortable in your damn store talking about how you afford to buy that belt.
Right. He bought that $13,000 watch on Amazon.
Hey, listen. They have a young black girl who there's this big issue about because the school says ain't got no proof that she cheated. Even if she cheated,
That's right.
even if I cheat, you're supposed to have some proof.
Right, you can't cheat because she scored excellence.
Right. And they say there's no way that you can move from point A to point B that fast without cheating. What kind of damn logic is that?
Because she's black.
But we're not talking about Professor X's School of the Gifted Mutants. We're talking about like reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Arithmetic. You know? We got 2 minutes.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. We got 2 minutes.
That's what it is. There is nothing that prevents anyone who puts their nose to the grindstone from moving their numbers up substantially if they choose to.
Right. It's all about you.
All you got to do is put your nose to the grindstone.
Apply yourself.
That's right. We're not asking you. We're not asking you to show us your new equation on string theory.
Right. Well, we got 80 seconds. I want to say this, guys. Thank you, guys.
We got like a minute.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you say last. I want to say
80 seconds.
80 seconds.
Very
80 seconds. I want you guys to remember always this: shoot for the moon. If you miss, you're still among the stars. Go ahead. You got the last word, Nat.
I got a whole lot of time, and he already been among the stars.
I just want to be like you.
But one thing is certain. As the point I was alluding to before, we have to do better than we've been doing. The world has changed. Anyone who tells you that you don't need whatever it is, you need everything nowadays.
That's right.
You need to understand every technology it is.
That's right.
You need to apply yourself mathematically.
Right.
You need to bring your literary skills up to par.
That's right.
It takes a whole lot of people to make a world.
That's right.
We need people that graduate from Juilliard. We need people who graduate at the top of their math class,
science.
Science.
Yep.
We need politicians with some courage and some backbone.
Right.
We need y'all to stop saying all them niggas in your songs and referring to yourselves in a way that is totally disrespectful to you, your mama, and your ancestors.
That's right.
I need you to believe in yourself, because if you don't, black folks, we ain't gonna make it.
No. We're extinct. Nat, thank you so much.
Here.
Thank you so much, brother. Always good. Always good.
We'll see y'all next
week. Peace in the Middle East.
Middle East.
Oh my goodness.
In the meantime, Honduras and El Salvador, all these places, it's horrible what they're doing to us. It's horrible. And Mexico's trying, but I think maybe they could try a little bit harder. You think? But I will say these people were vicious, and they broke through into Mexico, throwing rocks and stones. This is the second caravan, which is made up of some very tough young people. Very tough. Criminals in some cases. In many cases. They'll say, do you have proof? Yeah, I have proof. They threw stones in the police's face. They hurt Mexican police. They hurt Mexican military very badly. They broke through. You saw it. It was on television. It was terrible. And so Mexico is trying. They are trying. But we're different. We more than try. We have our military now on the border.